Live from the Sports and Recreation Center on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet presents exclusive NCAA Division III women's basketball coverage. Tonight's matchup features the Lightning of Lehman College taking on the Dolphins of the College of Staten Island. Good evening, everybody. This is Joe Foreman, joined by Mike Bebuski, bringing all of the action to you live from center court during tonight's game. And Mike, the Dolphins come into this game off of a loss at MIT, a very tough loss for the Dolphins in that game, a game in which the Dolphins played very well, but unfortunately they came up short in overtime, dropping that one to MIT 76-74.
Yeah, you know, Joe, it was a game that the Dolphins were able to come back in the fourth quarter and force overtime and really gave MIT all they wanted on the road over the Christmas vacation. And, you know, it came down to an open three-pointer for the Dolphins, and Jackie Callie had a great look at the basket, and the shot looked good leaving her hand, but unfortunately for the Dolphins, the ball rimmed out, and, you know, that put an end to the Dolphin 8-game winning streak. But, you know, Joe, that's been their first loss to a Division III team all season long, and, you know, now the new year has come, and we're ready to get into conference play. And, you know, the Dolphins are playing very well and look primed to go on a nice run here to start the 2018 year.
And I took a look at the numbers in that game against MIT, and a huge game once again for Christina Passatoro, one of several big games for her this season. She had 33 points in that game, shot 4 of 7 from downtown and 14 of 26 from the field as well. Also, Angelique Price in that game had 16 points and connected on 6 of her 12 shots. I believe it was Price who hit a shot that sent this game to overtime very late in regulation. And looking back at the numbers from that game, another thing I see is that it was really the third quarter that did the Dolphins in this game. They were even in or won every other quarter. Won the second quarter by 3 after coming out of the first quarter tied at 12, and then won the fourth quarter by 4 to force overtime. But of course, the Dolphins dropping overtime 8-6 would go on to lose this game. But you did mention, Mike, the Dolphins' 2 losses this season are outside of the CUNYAC Conference tonight. A CUNYAC matchup for the Dolphins against the team that we saw them take on in the first round, or I should really say the second round of the CUNYAC tournament. There was a game played here as well. I believe it was against the John Jay College Bloodhounds before they moved on to take on Lehman College at CCNY earlier this year. And the Dolphins did win that game against the Lehman College Lightning, but this is a Lightning team that looks very different from the team the Dolphins faced earlier this year.
Yeah, you know, it'll be interesting to see how the Dolphins come out and play here tonight. You know, Christina Passatoro played all 45 minutes in that game and had a season-high 33 points in that game against MIT, and she's really playing well. And, you know, Joe, this is a Dolphin team with 4 seniors in the starting lineup and a junior in Jackie Callie. It's a veteran group. It's a very experienced group. They're very experienced at playing with each other, and, you know, they have very exciting possibilities coming up here in the second half of the season. And, you know, for the Dolphins, it's going to start here at home in a conference game. They do have a non-conference battle coming up against Lancaster Bible College this Sunday. But, you know, other than that, the play really is going to be inside the conference. And after this game, they'll go on the road for a couple of games. So, you know, it's an exciting time to be a Dolphins women's basketball fan. The team is playing extremely well. Christina Passatoro, who already shattered the all-time career scoring record, just continues to and seems to play better and better. And, you know, this team, like I mentioned, is really looks like it's in prime shape to make a run. And it'll be very interesting to see how they do against a very good Lehman College team, a team that has a lot of size. And, you know, size is the one thing that could sometimes give this Dolphin team trouble.
And you would think that a size disadvantage could give the Dolphins an issue on the glass, but the Dolphins have done a good job on the board so far this season. They've kept the rebounding margin in their games very close. Actually, a positive rebounding margin for the Dolphins this season, just under a 1 rebound positive rebounding margin, but still a positive margin nonetheless. You also take a look at the turnovers this season the Dolphins have been able to force. The Dolphins have generated 31 turnovers on average by the opposition in their games this year, and each and every game that I've covered, I've talked about it. I'm not sure we can expect the Dolphins to keep up that pace, but then they prove me wrong time and time again, just continuing to force such a huge number of turnovers from the opposition. And in that game against MIT, the Dolphins did only outscore MIT by 2 points off of turnovers, and that's a big reason why that game was close. We've seen seen the Dolphins win in blowout fashion several times already this year, and turnovers are probably the biggest reason why. You also mentioned how well Christina Passaturo has played this season. She's been a steady presence for this Dolphins team now. This is her senior year, so now 4 years of Christina Passaturo really taking charge on this Dolphins team and playing extremely well once again this year. Also, Samantha Flecker's been big for the Dolphins. Angelique Price with a great game last time as well, and Victoria Cray to round out that senior group for the Dolphins. All players that they can certainly turn to for a big shot down the stretch, and I think the last game the Dolphins played certainly demonstrated that. And then here tonight against the Lehman College team, the Dolphins will look to remain perfect in the conference. They've gone 3-0 so far in the CUNYAC this season. They'll look to make it 4 here tonight, but we should also talk about that they have played well outside of the conference. A huge non-conference win in the last game that we covered here outside of the conference against William Patterson, and then a game against NJCU that was scheduled for December 27th was canceled prior to the matchup with MIT, and that brings us to our matchup between the Dolphins and the Lightning here tonight.
Yeah, you take a look at this Lehman College team, and, they've come in and they played some very tough competition on the road, Joe, especially in their last couple of games. They're 2-1 in the conference so far. They dropped a game to Brooklyn College by 14 points, and, you look out at this Lehman College team as they're warming up out on the floor right now, and, you see a lot of size on this team. And, as we mentioned before, Joe, size is the one thing that could sometimes give this Dolphin team trouble. And if Lehman is going to compete against the Dolphins here tonight and, really play through the 40 minutes, they're going to need to be able to get the ball inside and get good shots inside. They've struggled a little bit from the free throw line so far this year, shooting just under 59%, and they struggled a little bit from shooting three-pointers as well. Their three-point shooting just at 27%. So, for the Lightning, they're going to try to get the ball inside against an undersized Dolphin team, and it'll be interesting to see how the Dolphins will defend against it.
And we'll talk a bit more about this Lehman College Lightning team when we come back from this break. We're just over 10 minutes away from tip-off between the Dolphins and Lightning, a 5:30 tip-off here from the Tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island. We'll talk more about the Lightning going into tonight's matchup when we come back. This is exclusive NCAA Division III women's basketball coverage here on CSI Sportsnet at csidolphins.com.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate. Cook.
Fire in the hole!
And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just, please, don't leave. Okay, but remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate. Cook.
Fire in the hole!
And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
World? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you.
Now, you look at this Dolphin team, very senior-oriented, very deep on the bench. And, for the Dolphins here tonight, they're in a situation where they're looking to continue their undefeated ways here in the conference play as the Lightning take the floor and the Dolphins get ready to do so as well. For the Dolphins, they've been playing very strong all year. They like to come out, try to take an early lead in this game, and really they've been playing so well at home and been so dominant this year. An early lead, the key to the game. Forced turnovers. This is a Lehman Lightning team, Joe, that's been a little prone to turn over the basketball here so far, averaging just under 20 turnovers a game. And, again, for the Dolphins, as we're going to have a technical foul to start the game here, and we'll have to get the update on the reason why. As Behagen goes to the free throw line, she'll shoot two, and she'll miss the first. So the Lightning go to the free throw line, Joe, before the start of the game.
I think it's for the shot clocks, Mike. There was an issue with the shot clock at one end of the floor that just came up out of nowhere before the start of the Tournament of Heroes Day 1, and that necessitated two shot clocks to be placed at either end of the court. So you can't see them on your screen, but there is a shot clock at each end of the floor. Of course, a 30-second shot clock. The shot clocks above the baskets are turned off, so you won't see that number ticking down on your screen next to the score of the game, but should the situation necessitate it, we will keep you updated on where the shot clock is at when it is important. As we get set to tip off here in this one, it will be Samantha Flecker and Selena Lopez jumping as we get underway here from the tank. Dolphins and Lightning, a CUNYAC conference matchup. And the tip is won by the Lightning, but Callie winds up with it, takes it inside, and lays it in. So a good start for the Dolphins as Callie finishes the scoop layup, and the Lightning promptly commit their first turnover, throwing the ball away.
Yeah, Joe, this Dolphin team is really, really good defensively, and, they're going to come out and try to put pressure on the Lightning. And, let's see how they're able to handle the ball under the Dolphins' defensive pressure.
Ball with Price on the left wing, swings it up to Passaturo. Now Flecker. Flecker was defended by Behagen. Passaturo to Cray. Now back to Flecker, who's wide open for three. And that's off the back rim, and Flecker grabs her own rebound and gives it up to Passaturo. Now over to Cray. Passaturo takes a look over towards the bench as head coach Tim Shanahan will call out a play. Something he told us last time I was here they don't do very often as the Dolphins move the ball around the perimeter. Passaturo has it now. Shot clock winding down. 5 on the shot clock. Price drives inside. Her layup no good. And that's rebounded by Lopez. Here come the Lightning the other way. It's Fields with it. And Fields now tied up. A pair of Dolphins get their hands on it. And a timeout on the floor was called by the Lightning. So with two Dolphins players having hands on that ball, the Lightning are indeed granted the timeout.
Yeah, I think the Lightning were a little fortunate on that play, Joe. But, one thing you've seen in the early going, the first two times that Lehman has touched the ball, the first time they turned the ball over, the second time they came very close to turning it over. So Dolphins coming out and putting good pressure on the Lightning here. They lead by a score of 2-1.
And a pair of sloppy possessions for the Lightning, if you can even call that first ball thrown away a possession for Lehman College. Certainly not the start they wanted to this game, and hopefully for them, they can come out of this timeout and do a better job taking care of the basketball. If you're the Dolphins, just keep up the pressure. It doesn't seem like Lehman College is responding very well to that pressure right now. So it will be the Lightning inbounding after they were granted that timeout. The inbounder will be Behagen. Linda Fields has it, drives into the paint, kicks out into the corner for Leah Dorsett. Her shot no good, rebounded by Callie. Dolphins looking to run. Callie up to Flecker. Flecker finds Cray cutting inside, right back out to Flecker for three. Once again, wide open. That shot no good. That one tipped away by Dorsett, and the Dolphins come up with it. Passaturo over to Cray. Cray with the open left wing three. Nothing but air, rebounded by Jackie Callie. She's tied up. Nice job there by Anna Behagen to tie up Callie, and that will win possession for the Lightning.
Joe, the Dolphins have created several opportunities for themselves, and they missed their last three-point attempts. Two by Flecker, one by Victoria Cray. All three of them wide-open attempts, Joe.
That's very reminiscent of a game we saw these two teams play here last year down the stretch of the season where the Dolphins shot very poorly from three-point range. They hope to avoid doing that once again here tonight, as now the Lightning have possession. It's Behagen driving, kicks out into the left corner. Garcia puts up a shot, no good, rebounded by Cray. Dolphins looking to run once again. And Cray is fouled. I think she was looking for Flecker on a pass.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, Joe, the first foul of the game will go on the Lightning, as that foul is going to be called on Ayaya Dorsett.
Dorsett picks up her first as Flecker turns it over. Didn't see that double team coming. Good defensive play by Garcia. She looks to drive. She's stifled, gets the ball back, and puts it up and in. As the Dolphins nearly turned it over on the inbound. Price almost touched that ball again after inbounding it. Passaturo up to Cray. Ball with Callie in the corner. Nice pass to Flecker. Underhand layup is good.
Beautiful play that time by the Dolphins. Results in the Flecker layup till we give the Dolphins a 1-point lead.
Nice looking possession there for the Dolphins, as Callie with a well-timed pass for Flecker, who finished underhand from very close to the basket. That's not easy to do, but Flecker converts on the layup, giving the Dolphins a 4-3 lead. Fields has it, guarded by Cray. Fields drives, and Callie came over to help defensively. Fields, though, got a great look at it, couldn't convert. That one turned over by the Dolphins. Here come the Lightning back the other way. It's Dorsett. She gives it up to Behagen. Behagen looks to drive on Cray. And I thought Price might have gotten a hand on that. I think Behagen thought so as well, but possession to the Dolphins now as Cray brings it up, finds Flecker in the left corner. She'll put up another three-pointer. That one no good. Rebounded by Callie. Now Passaturo puts up a three. That one no good as well. I believe that's 0 for 5 from three now for the Dolphins here early in this first quarter. Driving inside was Fields. She's stripped. Another turnover for the Lightning as Cray moves quickly up the floor. Finds Price in the left corner. She pulls up from mid-range. That one off the front of the rim. Up in the air, rebounded by the Lightning. Outlet pass up to Garcia, and she lays it up and in. So the Lightning take a 5-4 lead. Poor shooting by the Dolphins here early in this game. And that has allowed the Lightning to take an early lead. The Dolphins have had good open looks from three-point range, simply haven't knocked them down. Cray inside, floats one up off the backboard and rims out. Rebounded by Lopez. Linda Fields has it, once again guarded by Cray.
Dolphins now 2 for 10 from the field, Joe.
Very poor shooting start for CSI in this one, as Behagan looks to take it at Flecker, then gives it up to Dorsett. Shot clock at 9. Garcia puts up a mid-range jump shot. That one no good, rebounded by Pasatoro. Dolphins looking to run. Pasatoro drives inside, and she is fouled by Lilybeth Garcia.
Yeah, we mentioned what a great year Pasatoro's been having this year, Joe, for the Dolphins, coming off of a 33-point game, which was her season high, just 1 point off of her all-time career high on the road against MIT, going to the free throw line looking for her first points of the evening.
And not only has Pasatoro put up big numbers this season, but she has done so consistently throughout this 2017-2018 season for the Dolphins as she knocks down the first free throw.
Yeah, the Dolphins' best player, Joe, that leads the team in field goal percentage, shooting just under 46% from the field.
That's a very impressive number, especially on a team that shoots 39%. Both of these teams actually come into this game shooting right around 39%. As the Lightning will inbound, trailing by 1. Our score 6-5, 4.5 minutes into this first quarter. Garcia, nice pass inside to Lopez. She can't convert the layup from point-blank range. Dolphins running once again. Bad pass, pulled in by Pasatoro. She finds Cray cutting to the basket. Cray can't finish. Here come the Lightning. They've looked to run themselves as well here in this game, but right there, Ayana Behagan a bit out of control. She is fouled, though, so the Lightning will inbound.
Yeah, that's going to be on Victoria Cray, Joe. That'll be Victoria's first, the team's first, so the Lightning will inbound.
Lightning inbounding along the baseline. That one knocked away by Flecker, so they'll try again from that same spot on the floor. This time Linda Fields comes over to attempt to inbound the ball. Look for Lopez underneath. Pass too high, it's stolen. Flecker looking to go coast to coast, and she's fouled, goes down hard. And Samantha Flecker will go to the line for a pair.
Yeah, so a low-scoring first 5 minutes of the game, Joe. The Dolphins lead by a score of 6-5, but if you're a CSI Dolphin fan, you have to like a lot of things you see. They're defending very well, and they're rebounding very well, and those are usually the things that trigger when the Dolphins are playing well. So they lead by just 1 point, but they are doing a lot of good things here so far in this first quarter.
And the tenacity on defense is always there from this Dolphins team, Mike. It has been no different here tonight, once again, generating turnovers, as has been the norm for them. So far, the Lightning have committed 5 here in this first quarter. We're only halfway through quarter number 1 as Flecker knocks down the second free throw. So Flecker goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Dolphin lead is now 3. Lisa Fields tried to take it all the way. Her layup attempt no good. Battling for it are a few Dolphins along with Selena Lopez of the Lightning. It is Victoria Cray who winds up with the ball, and she was charged with an offensive foul for that forearm. Not a very emphatic forearm, and that's now Cray's second personal foul.
Yeah, that's a big foul there, Joe, on Victoria Cray. Midway through this first quarter, she's going to find herself on the bench now probably and may not see action again until the start of the third quarter.
You could certainly see where and why that call was made, but the forearm definitely wasn't emphatic. I'm actually surprised the official caught it as we get a look at the turnover numbers now. That is the Dolphins' 4th turnover, 5 for the Lightning so far here in this first quarter, as we mentioned before. Our score 8-5. Lopez takes it at Callie. Nice spin move inside, and a strong finish there by Selena Lopez. Pasatoro drives. Kicks out to Callie in the corner. She tried to take it baseline, is stripped, and that's the Dolphins' 5th turnover. Bit of a sloppy start for the Dolphins here, protecting the ball. They've committed some ugly turnovers in this first quarter. Fields didn't have anywhere to go with it, finds Garcia. Now it's Lisa Fields, and that's a 3-pointer, which will put the Lightning up by 2. Lisa Fields connects on a 3 from the left wing, as now Pasatoro looks to drive for the Dolphins. Price looks to answer with a left wing 3 of her own. It's no good. And a foul is called. And that might be a shooting foul for not giving Price space to land. And it indeed will be a shooting foul, as Price was not given the space to come down on that three-point shot attempt.
Yeah, and veteran head coach Eric Harrison doesn't like that call very much. Joe, I'm not sure I blame him, and it was a very late whistle blown from the inside, but nonetheless, that will send Angelique Price to the free throw line.
And that call has been a point of emphasis in the NBA so far this season. Officials have been making a point to call a foul when the shooter is not given space to land. A lot of that, I believe, was due to an injury suffered by Kawhi Leonard in the playoffs. I think that was last year, and the NBA has made a point of calling those fouls when shooters come down and are not afforded the space to land safely, and that's the type of foul we saw called right there.
Price coming into today's game shooting 65% from the line. She split her first two. She'll have one more.
So Price goes 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Linda Fields drives, looks to take it all the way. And we've seen that on more than one occasion, a Lightning player receiving the inbounds pass and then looking to take it all the way to the rim. There have been openings in the Dolphins' defense to allow that, but a nice defensive play by the Dolphins to knock the ball away and prevent an easy layup. Lehman now will inbound on the baseline. Garcia will inbound. The Lightning look to get it inside off the last inbound. They look to do so once again, and there was simply no room to make that pass. Good defense by the Dolphins there.
Sorry, Joe. Both teams turning the ball over, as you mentioned now. 6 for the Lightning, 5 for the Dolphins.
So the Dolphins have defended those baseline inbound passes very well, not allowing easy looks inside off of them. And a nice pass there by Todaro, who just checked in, looking for Samantha Flecker, but that one ended up out of bounds, and they ruled it out of bounds off of the Dolphins. Diana Todaro has been the Dolphins bench player who's gotten the most minutes coming off the bench so far this season.
Yeah, Megan McEwen also in the game, Joe, for the Dolphins.
McEwen came in after Victoria Cray picked up her second foul. As right there, it's for the Lightning. That was Behagan who finishes inside, and now Passaturo puts up a three quickly as the Dolphins push it up the floor, and I think that was a fortunate foul call against the Dolphins as the Lightning had a player up the court. I believe it was Lily Beth Garcia who was up the floor and had no Dolphins player ahead of her, and head coach Tim Shanahan has called a timeout for the Dolphins as they now trail by 2 with 3 minutes to go here in this first quarter.
Yeah, you know, the Lightning doing a nice job keeping the game close, and, you know, they've turned the ball over a lot, but so have the Dolphins, so both teams really unable to protect the basketball here so far in this first quarter. The other big stat, Joe, Dolphins struggling from the field, especially from the three-point line here in this first quarter. 0 of 6 from the three-point line are the Dolphins, and the Lightning are 1-1. So, you know, again, you go about 7 minutes of play, you just have a couple of baskets from the field, and that's why the Dolphins find themselves down by 2.
And the open shot opportunities have definitely been there for the Dolphins. Of those 6 missed three-pointers, I believe all of them were wide open. Maybe one was semi-contested, but the Dolphins have had the open looks that they've needed to be ahead in this game. They simply haven't knocked them down. Here comes Lisa Fields, quickly pushes it up ahead to Behagan, and the Dolphins just weren't set defensively. The Lightning have done a good job exploiting the full court pressure applied by the Dolphins here in this first quarter, as Megan McEwen puts up a three-pointer and now ruled a two-pointer. So McEwen was towing the line there at the top of the arc, and that two-pointer will bring the Dolphins to within 2 points as the Lightning look to bring it up the other way quickly once again. The Lightning have looked to play at a quick pace here in this one. It's Linda Fields, drive to her left, almost turned it over, looking for Behagan. Behagan tries to take it inside, is denied, kicked it out to Garcia, and she puts up an air ball. So a good defensive possession there by the Dolphins, not allowing the Lightning any good open looks.
Yeah, they played well defensively this first quarter, Joe.
As Passaturo finds Flecker wide open in that left corner, and she knocks down the mid-range jump shot. As now Price comes up empty, trying to steal that inbound. Will have to rush back on defense. And that's Linda Fields who put up that shot attempt inside. Again, a late whistle, blocking foul called. I didn't expect a foul to be called there after I watched that ball bouncing away, heading for the baseline and out of bounds, but the whistle came in, and that will send Linda Fields to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, that foul's going to be on Todaro. That'll be her first foul. As Fields goes to the line, she's only a 49% free throw shooter, and she misses the first.
And she missed that one badly, Mike. As we have a substitution for the Lightning, it'll be Eugenie McGuire checking in. And she replaced Selena Lopez as the second free throw by Fields no good. So Linda Fields goes 0 of 2 from the line. Passaturo moving up the floor quickly. Gives it up to Flecker. Cross-court pass to McEwen. McEwen up to Passaturo. Wide open for three. And Christina Passaturo knocks down the Dolphins' first three-pointer of the night.
Yeah, you know, you're not going to keep Christina out of three-point land. She's just 38% three-point shooter. If you give her open look, she's going to hit them. Dolphins lead by 3, make that 2, or 1, I should say.
As Garcia knocks down that mid-range pull-up. Nice-looking shot there by Lilybeth Garcia. As Flecker finds Tadaro, and once again the Dolphins with a nice pass to a cutting player moving toward the rim. That's 3 of 4 of those already. And that ball way over the head of Behagen and into the Dolphins bench. So CSI will inbound. Dolphins have had some really good ball movement here in this first quarter. They've done a good job forcing turnovers, but when they apply that full court pressure, there have been openings behind the defense for the Lightning. They've done a great job in the half court, have the Dolphins, but when that inbounds pass comes and you have a player attempt to steal it who comes up empty, that creates a 5-on-4 the other way on occasion, and we've seen the Dolphins pay for that once or twice here in this first quarter. As their lead is 3, just under 1:20 to go in quarter number 1. Price drives and can't finish with the left hand. Lightning looking to move it up quickly once again, and a nice move there by Lisa Fields to avoid the contact and get a great look at the rim. Dolphins lead back down to 1. Passaturo gives it up to Price. Tadaro drives inside. That shot no good. A bit out of control there was Tadaro, as she shot that one across her body. 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter, as a double dribble is called against Diana Behagen. Here's a look at some of that Dolphins ball movement I've been talking about. That play more in transition off of the inbounds pass, but we've seen it in the half court as well, where the Dolphins have really moved the ball well, especially to cutting players, but around the perimeter on top of that, and that's a big reason why they've had open looks in three-point range. As Flecker is called for the travel in the double team. Really nowhere to go there for Samantha Flecker.
Yeah, nice defensive play that time by the Lightning to force the Dolphin turnover.
That was a good look on the pass. Flecker did have an opening cutting back door, and we've seen her do that on occasion. Her teammates seem to know that's one of her tendencies at the offensive end, and they've been able to hit her on those backdoor cuts in some of the games I've seen. But right there, the Lightning did a great job of closing that back door quickly, as the referee has blown the whistle. I'm not sure what the whistle was for, perhaps something with the clock not moving.
Have a look, opportunity to take a look at that Passatoro 3, the first three-pointer of the game for the Dolphins.
At the Dolphins' first three-point make in 7 attempts so far. Has a nice bounce pass there, but a travel is called against Lilybeth Garcia. She had room underneath, a nice pass, put her in good scoring position, but she simply couldn't get the handle on it. As there are 10 seconds to go here in the first quarter, and once again the officials over at the scorer's table talking to the clock operator. And the clock was reset to 12 seconds. So here comes Christina Passaturo. She drives, floats one up, it's short. Battle for the rebound, Lightning come away with it. 4 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Linda Fields puts one up from deep, and that one almost went down. A good attempt for being so deep late in the quarter as the clock was winding down, and a good effort there by Linda Fields to get a semi-quality shot up in that spot. But she comes up empty, and the Dolphins will take a 1-point lead into the second quarter when we come back here on CSI Sportsnet. Our score, the Dolphins 19, the Lightning 18. After a couple of messages from our sponsors, we will return NCAA Division III Women's CUNYAC basketball here on CSI Sportsnet at CSIDolphins.com.
morning with Tim Hortons. Get a sausage and cheese English muffin made to order for only $1. Made with savory sausage and American cheese on a toasted English muffin. Prepared for you for only $1. Great quality at a great value. It's all good at Tim Hortons.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
And we're back here on CSI Sportsnet. Dolphins leading the Lightning by a score of 19-18 after 1 quarter of play. And Mike, we just got box scores handed to us from the first quarter. And you take a look down that box score, every Dolphins player who entered the game got up on the scoreboard with the exception of Victoria Cray, who, of course, exited with 2 personal fouls about midway through that first quarter.
Yeah, and, you know, Joe, the Dolphins just shooting 6 of 20 from the field, including 1 of 7 from the three-point line, so they'll look to improve on that shooting here in the second quarter.
I'm sure they'll be looking for much better than that as once again the Dolphins find a player cutting inside. It seems the Lightning have keyed in on that a bit as Flecker was shut down immediately after catching the ball. It's now Bessie up to McEwen. Finds Tadaro in the corner mid-range, and a nice-looking mid-range jump shot there by Diana Tadaro.
Tadaro now 2 of 3 from the field. She has 4 points.
When the Dolphins have swung the ball around the perimeter right to left, it seems that mid-range left corner shot has been the shot that is open, and the Dolphins have exploited that area of the floor so far. It's Lopez inside working against a pair of Dolphins defenders. The Lightning forced to kick it out. 6 on the shot clock. Linda Fields drives, and not a good foul there committed by Diana Tadaro. The shot clock was down to 3. Perhaps Fields would have had a good look at the rim had the foul not been committed, but you never like to see a foul committed that late in the shot clock.
Boy, Joe, there wasn't that much contact there, and that's going to be the second foul for Tadaro, so now she's going to have to go to the bench as well. So 2 Dolphins on the bench now with 2 fouls, Cray and Tadaro.
And it's Rosa Perone who replaces Tadaro. Quickly grabs her first rebound as the Dolphins look to move it up quickly once again. Here comes Christina Passaturo. She's stripped from behind. And at least 4 players dove down to the floor trying to come away with that ball. I think a foul was called against the Lightning. And it was a foul against Lehman. It's against Selena Lopez. Good effort there.
Sorry, Joe. So Lopez will pick up her first.
Good effort there by both Passaturo and Bessie for the Dolphins, taking on 3 Lightning players as Passaturo puts up a 3 from the left wing and knocks it down.
Yeah, Christina's now hit her last 2 from the three-point line. She has 8, and the Dolphins open up their biggest lead of the game at 6.
And if you give Christina Passaturo that much space from the three-point line, you will pay for it, and the Lightning have found that out the hard way in her last 2 three-point attempts. They've simply played way too far off of her, and she's knocked down her last 2 from three-point range. As Garcia puts up a 3. That shot way off. And the Dolphins will inbound.
Dolphins in the middle of a 14-4 run here. The Lightning led this one 14-10. The Dolphins come storming back.
See the three-point shooting. The Dolphins 2 of 8 from downtown. Christina Passaturo responsible for both of those, and that assist right there to Rosa Perone. Nicely done by Passaturo, drawing 2 defenders and finding Perone for the wide-open layup. As that one from the corner, a three-pointer by Garcia, missed badly. Nothing but air on that shot, and here comes Megan McEwen the other way. Passaturo, three-pointer, right wing, that's short. And she gets it back inside from Mbesi, but can't finish the floater from point-blank range. As the Lightning come the other way. It's Behagen. Finds Fields wide open in the corner for 3, but Lisa Fields couldn't convert. Lightning grabbed the offensive rebound. That last shot attempt put up by Lopez. She came up empty inside, and now Christina Passaturo coming back the other way and faced with 2 defenders is aggressively fouled. And a travel was called instead of a foul. The whistle came right as the contact was made, and get a look at that last basket for the Dolphins.
Yeah, an opportunity to see Rosa Perone get her first basket of the night for the Dolphins. Joe, she's come on a good start, a rebound and a basket for Rosa since checking in.
So the Dolphins needing to dig deep into the bench here early in this game. Victoria Cray picked up a pair of fouls, then Diana Todaro picked up a pair of fouls. So Rosa Perone getting some early minutes in this one. Selena Lopez can't finish at the rim. Jump ball the call, and possession stays with Lehman College.
And we should mention, Joe, Victoria Cray back into the game with 2 fouls for the Dolphins here in the second quarter.
Cray replaced McEwen at the last horn. Perone guarding Aaliyah Dorsett closely. She gives it up to Garcia. Inside to Lopez, who goes up in the double team. And nicely defended there by Perone and Passatoro, not giving Lopez any room to work. Cray drove left, bounce pass into the corner for Bessie. The ball now back with Cray. Dolphins reset, 12 on the shot clock. And jump ball is the call along the far sideline. The crowd doesn't like the call. They thought that Lisa Fields was out of bounds, but possession will be awarded to the Dolphins regardless.
Yeah, you know, Joe, the Dolphins continue on that 14-4 run and looking for a basket here to try to open the lead to double digits.
And the Dolphins nearly turn it over on the inbound, but another jump ball is called. That's 3 jump balls within the last about 30 seconds of game time.
And you know, Joe, I got to say, I can't remember seeing a jump ball called on a play like that, and then to see it called on back-to-back plays, very interesting.
As the Dolphins came away with the steal off of the inbounds pass, Flecker drove inside but was stripped. And that one ricocheted off of Flecker. She thought possession was being awarded to the Dolphins, and she was wrong. So the Lightning get it back once again as these two teams now exchanging turnovers. Lisa Fields has it, guarded by Mbesi. And a foul is called against Rosa Perone.
Yeah, that time Rosa jumped in a little bit late. She gets called for the block. It'll be the first foul on Perone, the second team foul on the Dolphins here in this second quarter.
Linda Fields looks to inbound and finds Lisa Fields. Ball back on the left wing with Linda Fields. Looks to drive inside, floats one up. Off the back rim, no good. Rebounded by Passaturo. Passaturo looks to go all the way, and her layup no good. Rebounded by Mbesi, and Nicole Mbesi cleans up the Passaturo miss.
Yeah, so the Dolphins get their lead up to double digits for the first time here tonight, and the Lightning turn the ball over once again, Joe, and they've really started to turn the ball over and struggling from the field here in the second quarter.
And that was Linda Fields who stepped on the sideline, and I think that was turnover number 11 for Lehman College. The Dolphins have committed 8 of their own so far through about a quarter and a half.
Lehman has not scored, Joe, here in this second quarter.
It's been a very strong defensive showing for the Dolphins here in quarter number 2. As Flecker finds Cray just beyond the free throw line. Cray steps in. That shot too strong, but she grabs her own rebound. Passaturo kicks out to Mbesi. Her shot blocked. And Mbesi with some great effort here as she dove on top of that ball. And jump ball is called once again. I thought the Lightning had possession of it, Mike, but jump ball is the call.
Yeah, plays going over on the floor all over the place here, Joe, for both teams. Both teams hustling. It's a big game here between the Dolphins and the Lightning, and the Dolphins have opened their lead to 10.
Lehman head coach Eric Harrison couldn't believe the call as he had word about it with the official. Passaturo finds Perone. Perone lost the handle, tips it out to Cray. Cray back over to Perone, and Perone with a strong finish inside over 2 Lehman College defenders. Rosa Perone converts and will go to the line for a free throw.
Yeah, Rosa's played very well since checking into the game, Joe. It's mentioned her second basket, and she'll go to the line with an opportunity to expand the Dolphin lead.
And I think these are some of the strongest minutes we've seen from Rosa Perone so far this season. Has been impactful from the moment she entered the game. She'll now look to add one more to her scoring total from the line. She can't do it. And the Lightning come away with the rebound. Dorsett up to Behagen. And the Lightning will get set here at the offensive end now. It's Lisa Fields with it. Pull-up jump shot for Fields, and the Lightning still not on the scoreboard yet in the second quarter. We're now over halfway through quarter number 2. Cray. Kick out to Passaturo, open three. It's short. Rebounded by Perrone, and Perrone puts it back up and in. And Lehman College will call timeout. Head coach Eric Harrison didn't like what he saw as the Dolphins now have been on the offensive glass hustling for the loose balls and are out to a 14-point lead. And that is a full timeout call, the first full timeout of this first half. So we will step aside and take a break. When we return, it's the Dolphins 32 and the Lightning 18. A big second quarter for CSI. They'll be looking for more when we come back here on CSI Sportsnet at CSIDolphins.com.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
And we're back here on CSI Sportsnet. Dolphins lead over the Lightning is 14 points with just under 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter as Victoria Cray swats that inbounds pass away. And the Lightning bench wanted a foul call against Cray. They do not get it. That would have been a big foul call against Cray. It would have been number 3.
Yeah, and the Dolphins, Joe, now in the middle of a 22-4 run to open their lead to 14 points.
It will be Aaliyah Dorsett bringing the ball up for Lehman College. She gives it up to Lisa Fields. Defended by Angelique Price. Now Behagan has it, drives to her left, kicks out to the perimeter, and Linda Fields can't connect from downtown. Lightning still scoreless here in the second quarter. It's been all Dolphins in quarter number 2, and Price turns the ball over. Here comes Lisa Fields. And her layup attempt no good. She wanted a foul call. And we'll head back the other way. As we get a look at that and one that Rosa Perrone converted just a short while ago prior to the timeout called by Lehman College. A strong finish there for Perrone, who then came up with a big offensive rebound that prompted the timeout call. She immediately scored off of that rebound. Perrone with 6 points off the bench and remains in the game, or I should say heads back to the bench. As re-entering the game was Angelique Price and Jackie Calley. So the Dolphins starting 5 back in after some strong minutes from Rosa Perrone, and Price is fouled on her drive attempt to the rim, so she'll head to the line for 2.
Yeah, the Dolphins really starting to expand this lead, Joe. And, you know, the way the Lightning struggle offensively, this is the last thing that they wanted. And, you know, the Dolphins fell behind in this game 14-10, but you could see a lot of positive things they were doing throughout. And, you know, once they started to hit their shots and the way they've defended, they've opened the lead up to 14. Big moment in the game for the Lightning, and now the Dolphins an opportunity to score more points from the free throw line.
Well, my mistake on that last foul call. I thought Price was fouled in the act of shooting. She was not. And instead it will be Samantha Flecker heading to the line, looking to extend the Dolphins' lead. And that first free throw attempt is no good. Free throw attempt number 2 from Flecker is good. I think that's now 3 of 4 from the line for Flecker here in the first half. Under 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. And the Lightning still yet to put anything up on the scoreboard in quarter number 2. And that won't get it done. As a blocking foul is called against the Dolphins. Was it on the shot attempt? And I think it was.
Yeah, you saw Flecker's lineup pop up on your screen a moment ago. 6 points and 4 rebounds, 3 assists. You know, Flecker doing a good job here for the Dolphins as they now lead by 15. And the Lightning trying to get their first points, Joe, here of this second quarter.
And it's Linda Fields making a bid for that first point, but she comes up empty from the line on her first attempt. As it will be Brianna Rubisky checking in for the Dolphins, giving Samantha Flecker a breather. I believe that's the first time she's headed to the bench here in this first half. As you just saw on your screen with the stat line, it's been a very strong first half for Samantha Flecker, and Lightning have finally gotten up on the scoreboard here in the second quarter and then promptly force a turnover as Tim Shanahan swats that ball down in frustration on the Dolphins bench. Lehman College will inbound.
Yeah, and, the Dolphins thought they were gaining the upper hand. The Lightning trying to fight their way back here in this second quarter.
Garcia will inbound right in front of the Dolphins bench. Ball now with Lisa Fields.
11-9, Dolphins lead the turnover battle here this afternoon.
Garcia swings it over to Dorsett. Dorsett dribbles into a double team. And Lisa Fields floats one up. No good. Rebounded by Rubisky. Dolphins coming back the other way quickly. Price drives. Puts one up. No good. Foul called on the inside. I think the call was over the back on Price, going for that rebound. Over the back charged on Angelique Price against Lisa Fields.
Joe, we look at the Lightning shooting. They were 8 of 17 in the first quarter. They're now 0 of 13 here in quarter number 2.
Another foul call. A lot of foul calls here in the second quarter, as now both teams are over the limit with 3 minutes to go in the second. And that foul will send Aaliyah Dorsett to the line for 2.
And that foul will be on Angelique Price, so she'll now have 2 for the Dolphins as well.
And that first free throw attempt by Dorsett is no good.
Lightning now 2 of 7 from the line here, Joe.
Nicole and Bessie returns for the Dolphins, replacing Angelique Price. As the second free throw from Dorsett is good. So the only 2 points scored by the Lightning here in the second quarter have come from the free throw line. And now Lehman College looking to utilize a full court press against the Dolphins. See if that slows them down at all offensively. It looks like the Lightning felt they needed to change something at the defensive end, and that's not how you want to do it, giving up a wide open 3 in the corner, but Callie couldn't knock it down. She now looks to take it inside, gives it up to Rubisky, and Rubisky had a great look at the rim but could not finish. And traveling is the call, so we'll head back the other way once again as these two teams continue to pile up the turnovers. The Dolphins, I think, are still in single digits. I think that's number 12 now for Lehman College. .225 to go here in quarter number 2. Dolphins lead is 13. The second quarter has been all Dolphins as we have yet another foul call. That one charged to Linda Fields, attempting to intercept that pass and head back the other way for an easy basket.
Yeah, so that was a tough foul on Fields for Linda. That's going to be her first. The Lightning are over the limit, so that's going to send Jackie Callie to the free throw line to shoot 2 for the Dolphins. Jackie coming in shooting 50% from the line.
And Callie's first free throw is no good. And her second also no good. So the Dolphins haven't made the most of their opportunities at the line here in the second quarter. That's now 3 of their last 4 free throws have not gone down. It's Garcia with the ball, defended by Cray. She pulls it back out onto the perimeter. Swings it over to Lisa Fields in the corner. Fields met with a double team. That pass almost sailed over the head of Linda Fields. And Garcia is called for traveling as she looked to take it inside of the arc and move in toward the basket. So another turnover for the Lightning, and with 1:53, the Dolphins will inbound.
And Joe, the Lightning have only scored 2 points the whole quarter, yet they find themselves down only 13.
It's been a very strong defensive quarter for the Dolphins, and they got off to a great offensive start in this quarter. They have started to sputter a bit here in the latter half of quarter number 2. As Callie's pass to Craig gets away from Victoria Craig, ricocheted off of her hand and out of bounds. Now both teams in double digits in the turnover department. I don't believe either team came in averaging 20 turnovers a game. They did not. I took a quick look at that. So both teams on pace for over their average turnovers committed, as that three-pointer is well short from Lisa Fields. The Dolphins looking to come back the other way quickly, and Passaturo faced with a double team. She's not happy with the call, thought maybe she was fouled, that the ball had gone off of a Lightning player, but the officials didn't see it that way, and Lehman College will inbound.
Yeah, she was surrounded by three Lightning players on the play, Joe, and they forced the turnover.
So the three-point shooting there. The Dolphins only 2 of 11 from three-point range. A lot of those shots have been wide open. Both makes coming from Christina Passaturo, as yet another foul is called. A lot of time spent at the free throw line here in the last 3 or 4 minutes for both of these teams.
Yeah, and Victoria Craig's going to pick up her third personal with just 1 minute and 8 remaining in this second quarter, so she's going to have to check out of the game. And, you know, another play where it looked like, you know, the Lightning player had gotten herself in a little bit of trouble, left her feet, and instead kind of gets bailed out a little bit on the third personal against Victoria Craig.
As the second free throw no good, but it is rebounded by Behagan, who can't convert the wide open layup. Passaturo able to stay in bounds along the baseline. And I think it was Aaliyah Dorsett who then stepped on the baseline once she gained possession for the Lightning. So the Dolphins will inbound with exactly 1 minute to go here in the second quarter. They will face full court pressure once again. Sorry, Mike.
No problem, Joe. The Lightning still have not been able to put the ball in the basket here in the second quarter. 3 points all from the free throw line, and now it'll be another opportunity for the Dolphins to go to the free throw line, as it'll be Nicole and Bessie going to the line to shoot 2. She's 2 of 10 from the line this year, Joe.
And we're back to familiar territory here in the second quarter, as this time it is Nicole and Bessie, as you mentioned, at the free throw line. It seems as if these two teams now just exchanging fouls and turnovers, as I can't recall the last field goal made that we saw. I'll have to go back and look at the play-by-play to get that for you, but it has been a while since either team converted from the field. Second free throw from Nicole and Bessie, no good. Rebounded by Lopez, as we're now inside of 1 minute to go here in the second quarter. Fields gives it up to Lopez. They swing it over to the left wing for Garcia. And traveling is the call once again. Yet another turnover. Again, it's been fouls and turnovers that have brought possessions to an end for both sides. And it will be the Dolphins to inbound with 34.9 to go in quarter number 2.
And you mentioned, Joe, Lightning averaging under 20 turnovers a game, and they've already turned it over 14 times here in the first half.
They're on pace for well more than that average. As the Dolphins now have possession of it, it's Passaturo who looked to drive, and they called an offensive foul against the screening. No, they called it on Passaturo, I think. Initially, I think Brianna Rubisky reacted as if the call was made against her, but instead it was made against Christina Passaturo. So Passaturo picks up the foul. And now the Lightning will have the last shot of the second quarter if they choose to take it.
Boy, Joe, I didn't see much contact on that play either.
Yeah, I was baffled. I thought for sure the call was on the screen. Didn't see where Passaturo was called for the offensive foul, but either way now it's Lightning basketball. 7 seconds to go as Garcia looks to drive on a pair of Dolphins defenders, and yet another turnover committed by the Lightning. Simply a mess of a second quarter for Lehman College.
Yeah, both teams struggling a little bit offensively through the last couple of minutes.
And yet another foul call, and again, it just goes back to what I've been saying. Every possession has ended in a turnover or a foul, and that's a very bad foul, as with only about 3.5 seconds to go here in the quarter, they make it so that Christina Passaturo does not have to advance the ball all the way into a scoring position, and instead will get 2 free throws, but she can't convert from the line as the Dolphins' free throw shooting percentage continues to fall.
Yeah, and you know, the Lightning only bringing 10 players to the game here today, Joe, so starting to get in a little bit of foul trouble.
Foul trouble could be a huge issue with a depleted roster, as that heave from just beyond half court is no good, and that'll bring the first half to an end. The Dolphins lead by 15 after 1 half of play, and it certainly could have been much more as the Lightning go the entire second quarter without recording a field goal made. Our score at the half, the Dolphins 35 and Lehman College 21. We'll stay with you for just a few moments to see if we're joined by head coach Tim Shanahan prior to breaking for halftime. So, Mike, as we wait to see if Tim joins us, what did you see in that first half that really stood out?
Well, again, the Dolphins really like to trigger their play from their strong defense, and they've done a good job doing that all afternoon long. They take a solid 14-point lead going into halftime, but, as we mentioned, Joe, the Lightning really struggling from the field in that second quarter, unable to convert a single basket during that quarter, and the Dolphins, who trailed at one time in this game by a score of 14-10, finished the quarter on a 25-7 run and go with a 14-point lead at halftime.
And I just find it astounding that a team could go an entire quarter without recording a field goal made, and that's a testament to the Dolphins' defensive effort. And we'll talk more about that when we come back from our halftime break. Once again, our score at the half, the Dolphins 35 and the Lightning 21. More CUNYAC NCAA Division III women's basketball when we return here on CSI Sportsnet at csidolphins.com.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
You remember, just in time. So we're back here for just a moment as we are joined by Dolphins head coach Tim Shanahan. And Tim, a very strong second quarter defensively for your team. What changed from quarter number one, which was a very back-and-forth quarter?
I basically threatened them with an inch of their lives. A lot of things we went over in the last few days. Like all best laid plans, sometimes they don't work out, and it's just a matter of getting them mentally and emotionally prepared. And it's different when you're facing that competition and that pressure. Practice is one thing as much as I throw it at them, and games is a different situation. And like I say, you can tell in my voice right now, I'm very frustrated just the way we're playing, strictly because of composure. I don't mind shots we miss and things, but it's composure, and I don't like them losing it. And we're not that type of team.
Well, in that second quarter, you held them to 0 field goals made, so definitely a big success at the defensive end in the second quarter. Going over to the offensive end for just a moment, in the first half of that second quarter, the team was thriving offensively, slowed down a bit late. I don't think either team recorded a field goal for the final few minutes of the second. So what changed for you offensively?
Well, what happened is you have a couple of young kids in there, and listen, they're getting thrown into the mix right now, and the plays that are supposed to be run aren't being run, and things that are supposed to be happening. Because twice I yelled out on the court, what are we running? And who's doing what? And, it's just it's a battle of nerves with them right now. And I got to go into the halftime now and settle them down and get them focused a lot better. They are focused, but their focus isn't where it should be right now.
Well, a big 14-point lead for you guys at the half. Looking forward to some more stellar play from you in the second half. Tim, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
That's Dolphins head coach Tim Shanahan just joining us, and he did mention something that, it was a little bit different from what we heard last time. The team ran some plays. They actually had some design plays that he was frustrated that the team did not run correctly, and we heard him say during the last time that I interviewed him that he thought perhaps if his team was needing to run some plays, they were in a bit of trouble. And in that second quarter, the Dolphins did build a big 14-point lead, slowed down a bit late in that second quarter, but still a strong second quarter, a strong half for the Dolphins, and they'll be in good position in this game when we return for the second half. Our score at the half, the Dolphins 35 and the Lightning 21. When we come back, there will be more NCAA Division III women's basketball in this CUNYAC matchup. Our score at the half, the Dolphins 35, the Lightning 21. We'll rejoin you in about 8 to 10 minutes here on CSI Sportsnet at csidolphins.com.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules. You tell me to stay away from drugs. To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
La 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 la, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with dachshund breeding.
No. Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
This is why you took a second job. While you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing. While you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Call 888-995-HOPE today.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with dachshund breeding.
No. Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
This is why you took a second job. While you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing. While you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We
possible. We help them reclaim their life.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
And we're back as we apologize. We had to perform a full system
Meanwhile,
reboot
I will try to comfort
prior
everyone
to the
by
start
speaking in a
of
calm
the second
voice.
half. But we are
And
about to
who's
get
going to
underway
handle
here in half
supplies?
number 2. Dolphins
I can
lead
forget to do
over
this
the Lightning
for us.
is
Thanks,
14 points after we had a scoring discrepancy at halftime that was cleared up. And the lead is indeed 14 points, which is the lead that we had for you going into the half when we wrapped coverage of half number 1. Dolphins now going right to left as that one's nearly turned over. Cray then finds Callie wide open in the left corner for 3. That shot no good. Rebounded by Flecker, and she puts it back up and in.
Nice start for the Dolphins for this second half. A second chance basket gives the Dolphins their biggest lead.
And that's the first field goal by either team in quite some time. The Dolphins got off to a red-hot start in the second quarter and then really slowed down considerably beyond that point. And the Lightning now have their first field goal in quite some time, as that's a three-pointer for Linda Fields.
Yeah, and they need to get their shooting on track here to try to battle their way back into the game. A good start for the Lightning.
Callie has it now in the left corner as she finds a cutting Victoria Cray, who floats it up and in. And Eric Harrison was not happy with the way that offensive possession for the Dolphins went down. He quickly calls a timeout here and wants to have a word with his team. And it will be a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay right here. And, Mike, that's much like what we saw from the Dolphins early in the second quarter.
Yeah, Dolphins getting off to a good start here offensively. And, for the Lightning, it's got to be a big sigh of relief to get that first basket to go and a three-pointer as well. And, that's only their second three-pointer here of the game. And the way that the Dolphins are going to start to play offensively here. The Lightning are going to need to score a lot of points here in the second half to get back into the game. So we'll see how they're able to do with their shooting as the third quarter goes along.
Well, Dolphins head coach Tim Shanahan mentioned composure, and though it's a very small sample size of only a minute, his team has looked very strong here early in this third quarter as the Lightning now come the other way. And I think a big part of that composure is dealing with the full court pressure they faced from Lehman College late in quarter number 2, which really slowed them down a bit at the offensive end as the Lightning now have possession of it, and they turn it over. Passatoro intercepts the pass, and she'll look to take it all the way inside, up, and finishes the layup over a pair of Lightning defenders. Nicely done there by Christina Passatoro.
Christina now 3 of 10 from the field, leads all scorers with 13.
Another strong offensive game from Christina Passatoro. Strong first half from Samantha Flecker as well. Several Dolphins did a great job in half number 1 with solid all-around games as Linda Fields can't connect on the 3. Flecker comes away with it, and the call is a blocking foul against Linda Fields.
Yeah, that had to be a block on that play, Joe, as Fields kind of jumped right in front of Flecker as she was on her way past. So Fields is going to pick up her second personal, and the Dolphins will get to inbound the basketball now with a fresh 30-second shot clock.
Mentioning some of those well-rounded numbers in the first half, Christina Passatoro with 9 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists in the first half. Samantha Flecker with 7 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. As Flecker receives the pass from Price in the left corner, can't knock down the mid-range shot, but grabs her own rebound yet again and finds Passatoro open. Passatoro gives it up for Flecker in the corner, and her three-pointer is no good. Flecker didn't shoot very well in the first half, only 2 of 8, as Dorsett can't finish the layup. Lopez comes away with it, and she puts it back up and in.
Good second chance points for the Lightning on that possession.
As the Dolphins look to push it up the floor quickly, and finding Flecker there was Cray. Her layup was no good, but the Dolphins once again grab their own offensive rebound and turn it into a Christina Passatoro three-pointer.
And the Dolphins have out-rebounded the Lightning all night long, picking it up here in the third quarter.
We're working on our scoreboard graphic right now. The score is the Dolphins 44 and the Lightning 26 as Linda Fields is fouled. Foul called against Jackie Callie. That is her second personal. Callie with 2, Cray with 3, Price with 2 for the Dolphins. And if you look on the Lehman College side of the scoreboard, 4 players for them with 2 fouls. The only player with a single foul is Lilybeth Garcia.
And we mentioned earlier the Lightning picking up second chance points here in the second half. That was their first second chance point of the game. The Dolphins outscoring them 14-2.
And the second free throw from Fields is well short, rebounded by Passatoro. Passatoro drives to her right, kicks out to Flecker in the right corner. Ball finds its way over to Callie, wide open in the left corner for 3. That shot no good. And off the ricochet, the ball goes over the baseline, and possession belongs to Lehman College. Yet another wide open 3 for the Dolphins, who have just failed to convert on so many of those opportunities here in this game. And it's really startling that the lead is 17 points with the amount of open jump shots the Dolphins have missed. As that ball becomes wedged between the rim and backboard on the three-point attempt by Garcia. And the jump ball rule is invoked when that occurs, so possession will stay with Lehman College. Very fortunate there for the Lightning.
Dolphins outscoring the Lightning so far here in the second half, 9-6. They've opened up their lead to 17 as the Lightning will inbound off the jump ball possession.
Fields puts up a three from the right wing and banks it in. Well, the Lightning have come out, and I believe that's their third made field goal of this third quarter, but the Dolphins have been able to put down several shots of their own, and there's another one as Victoria Cray cuts in and receives a nice pass before finishing inside. As for now, we will have a makeshift scoreline for you in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. That is the official score here at the Sports and Rec Center. The Dolphins' lead is now 16. Our score 46-30 with 6:13 to go in the third quarter. We'll give you updates on the time remaining in the quarter as well.
As the Lightning turn the ball over once again, and the Dolphins really dominating in the turnover department.
I think it goes without saying the Lightning have shot very poorly in this game. Only 11 of 38 from the field, 3 of 10 from three-point range, as that shot attempt inside is no good, and the Lightning come away with it. Driving is Linda Fields, and the call is an offensive foul, so we'll head back the other way.
Yeah, and that's a big foul on Fields because that's going to be her third foul, and thought that might have been a little bit of a tough foul call on Fields as well, but nonetheless, off the turnover, it'll be Dolphins basketball leading by 16.
Cray dribbles back out toward the left corner. Swings it to Passaturo on the right wing, and that pass intended for Price is intercepted by Behagen. She drives inside and finishes through the contact. A strong finish there by Ayanna Behagen, and she'll head to the line for one more.
Yeah, and the Lightning are keeping themselves in the game. They now cut the Dolphin lead down to 14 as that time Angelique gets called for the personal foul. That's going to be her third personal, Joe, and she committed the foul and allowed her to get the ball up to the basket, so an opportunity for the Lightning to cut the lead down to 13.
That's a pair of Dolphin starters now with 3 fouls, both Price and Cray with 3 apiece. Fortunately for the Dolphins, Christina Passaturo stayed away from foul trouble. Only 1 foul on Passaturo. Jackie Cowley also has a pair of fouls, but Samantha Flecker does not have any.
Lightning playing much better offensively here to start the third quarter.
As Cray looks to take it all the way, but she's met with great resistance around them. A pair of defenders stifle that shot. Now the Lightning head back in the other direction. Nice dribble inside there by Linda Fields to avoid the first defender and then get a wide open look at the rim. And here come the Dolphins quickly back the other way. As Jackie Cowley can't convert on the layup, rips that ball away from a pair of Lightning players and then finds Christina Passaturo for the open floater in close.
Yeah, that was a huge basket there for the Dolphins, Joe, as they've seen their lead evaporate. Down to 13.
This has been some fast-paced action here in this third quarter as Garcia puts up a 3, no good off the front of the rim. Price comes away with the rebound. Dolphins have a 5-on-4 advantage if they hurry. And Price goes up inside and draws the foul.
Yeah, that's a foul that's going to be called on the Lightning, and that's going to be against Lisa Field. So Lisa's going to pick up her third. So it'll send Price to the line to shoot 2. Angelique 2 of 3 from the line here tonight.
4 players now on the floor with 3 fouls. We mentioned the Dolphins, both Victoria Cray and Angelique Price with 3 fouls apiece, as the aforementioned Angelique Price knocks down her first free throw attempt. And for the Lightning, Linda Fields has 3, and as you just mentioned, Mike, Lisa Fields also with 3. So 4 players right now playing with 3 fouls. We'll see if either team looks to exploit that. As off the missed free throw, Samantha Flecker fights for the rebound, and the Lightning player stepped on the baseline. So a good effort there by Samantha Flecker, who follows each and every shot, and the opposition has to put a body on her and box her out, and they just don't seem to do it. I say this each and every game I cover. As the Dolphins turn it over on the inbound, here come the Lightning. Bad pass there, but a better pass up ahead to Fields, and a foul is called. And the foul called on Ayanna Behagen. And yet another player now playing with 3 fouls, as that's Behagen's third.
Yeah, so 3 Lightning players with 3 fouls here midway through the third quarter.
As Cray finds Cowley with the bounce pass, wide open mid-range shot, no good from just inside the free throw line. Rebound to Lehman College. And the left-handed layup by Linda Fields is good. Great transition offense by Lehman College. Here comes Christina Passaturo inside, and she finishes strong at the rim.
Passatoro now has 20 points for the Dolphins, including 11 in this third quarter.
As Ayanna Behagan goes up with a wild shot that travels well over the rim and out of bounds, as these two teams have gone back and forth in transition. Mentioned the pace of this game has really picked up here in the third quarter. As a timeout is called, it will be a 30-second timeout. Mike, you see this kind of pace of play. The Dolphins very used to it. Do you think there's any way the Lightning can get back into this game playing at this pace for another quarter and a half?
Well, you know, the Lightning have cut the lead down to 14, Joe, and the Dolphins, that was the Dolphins' lead at halftime. So, you know, they've played very well here in the third quarter, and, you know, they've already scored 16 points here in the third quarter. Their high so far in the game is 18, so they're doing a good job offensively. They've been able to get the ball into the paint for a couple of layups here in this third quarter to keep themselves in the game. You know, the Dolphins are just not shooting well enough to pull away, but still playing well enough in control of this game, up by 14. 4 minutes remaining in the third.
And there's really one number that tells the entire story of this game for the Lightning right now. The first quarter, a very back and forth quarter. The Dolphins led 19-18 after one. But then in the second quarter, after shooting 8 of 17 from the field in the first, the Lightning shot 0 of 15 in the second quarter. They actually cut their turnovers down from 9 to 6. But in that second quarter, didn't hit a single shot, allowing the Dolphins to seize a 14-point halftime lead, as the Dolphins just missed yet another wide-open three. That time it was Jackie Callie, and they've committed yet another foul, and that's on Angelique Price, her fourth. Here's a look at Christina Passatoro taking it inside, answering one strong finish at the other end with a strong finish at the rim of her own. It's been another very strong effort for Christina Passatoro in this one, as Lilibeth Garcia directs her team's offense. And I think a 3 in the key was called. Nope, foul. That is Callie's third. So now Callie with 3, Cray with 3, Price on the bench with 4. Cray remains in the game. Callie will not. And Diana Todaro checks in. Ball impounded to Gomez, or it's Lopez, excuse me. And the pull-up jump shot knocked down by Lisa Fields.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, Joe, the Dolphin lead back down to 12 once again. The Dolphins not able to close the door. Lightning storming back.
Flecker has it now. Swings it over to him, Bessie. Todaro looks to work along the left baseline. Her layup attempt no good, gets her own rebound, and goes up strong immediately off of that rebound and finishes at the rim with the foul. Diana Todaro goes to the line for one more.
Yeah, a lot of determination by Todaro on that play. She was denied on the initial attempt. She went right back and was able to pick up the basket for Diana. She now has 6 points, looking to complete the three-point play.
And Todaro converts the and one, and that's something the Dolphins have really failed to do in this game. I guess they've done a better job as of late. They started off shooting poorly from the free throw line, but have recovered a bit. Now 11 of 18 from the line. As that layup attempt no good by Linda Fields. Coming away with the ball was Ayanna Behagan, but she's called for traveling as she looked to take it back inside. And that's another Lightning turnover.
You know, and if you're the Lehman Lightning, Joe, you got to be really frustrated with the way that you've just not been able to score points here consistently in this game, because they're playing good enough defense to be a lot closer than 15.
Passatoro working against Fields. Flecker looking for Passatoro, and that was a dangerous pass, but a foul was called against Lisa Fields. That is her fourth.
Yeah, so Fields is going to pick up her fourth personal as we have an opportunity to look at that play by Todaro. She fights inside, and really a great physical play by Todaro. And now Passatoro goes to the free throw line, but big personal foul there on the Lightning, Joe.
And it looks like Lisa Fields will stay in this game. You mentioned the Lightning coming into this matchup with a depleted roster, as we do have a late substitution coming to the scorer's table. I don't know if they're going to get it in, and they will not. They will after the free throw attempt. So Ayanna Behagan will check in and will replace Lisa Fields. So Fields won't play here with 4 fouls, but of course she'll likely be back into the game in the fourth quarter, if not at the start of the fourth. As that inbound nearly stolen by Passaturo, she needs to get back on defense as she chases down the play and will get back. Fields guarded by Flecker. Gives it up to Behagen. Back over to Garcia. Now Fields for three, and that shot no good. Fight for the rebound. It goes to Dorsett. Finds a cutting Behagen, who works her way inside and finishes at the rim.
Rare second chance points for the Lightning to cut the Dolphin lead back down to 15.
Passaturo with the ball. Gives it up to Cray. Dolphins not going anywhere yet with this possession as Passaturo has it on the right wing. 9 on the shot clock. Looking for Cray back door, and that pass is tipped and stolen by Lehman College. Here come the Lightning the other way. Behagen works inside once again, is fouled. Will that be called a shooting foul? It won't matter. She'll go to the line anyway. That's the Dolphins' 5th team foul. And that sends Ayanna Behagen to the line for 2.
Yeah, so that foul is going to be on Diana Tadero as she picks up her 3rd personal. Both teams over the limit, so it'll result in a pair of free throws coming up for the Lightning.
Mentioned the free throw shooting for the Dolphins after 2 makes by Passaturo. They're now 13 of 20 from the line, but that make by Behagen, the Lightning are 7 of 14. So the Dolphins have actually shot better than Lehman College from the line in this game. After the first half, we're really late in the second quarter. The Dolphins missed a few free throws, but that streak not really indicative of what they've done overall in this game from the foul line. As Behagen converts on both free throws, Dolphins again push the ball up the floor quickly. Passaturo dribbles toward the top of the arc and gives it up to Cray. Cray drives to her left, bounce pass inside to Perrone, and Rosa Perrone draws the foul. So Perrone will have a chance to add 2 more points to her total. It was a very strong first half for Perrone. I mentioned some of the well-balanced numbers for players like Samantha Flecker and Christina Passaturo in the first half. Rosa Perrone had 6 points and 4 rebounds of her own as well. And she knocks down her first free throw.
Rosa coming in just 7 of 19 from the line.
Lehman's substitution was McGuire for Lopez after the first made free throw. And once again, Samantha Flecker with an offensive rebound. And it looks like she may have been hurt grabbing that offensive board.
Yeah, she's had a very strong third quarter rebounding the basketball, especially on the offensive end for the Dolphins.
Cray had an open look for 3. She'll look to take it inside for a better look as Perrone goes up with a wild shot before Flecker almost comes away with another offensive rebound. I think she will be credited with the rebound and was fouled.
And that foul will be on Ayaya Dorsett, and that's going to be her 3rd personal, and that's going to send Samantha Flecker to the line to shoot a pair for the Dolphins. They've opened the lead back up to 16 with an opportunity for a couple more.
So Flecker will go to the line for 2, and she earned these free throws strictly on the back of hustle, going after offensive rebounds. She's not boxed out and follows each and every shot, both those taken by her teammates and those she's taken on her own. And she's gotten at least 1 point from that hustle. We'll see if she can make it 2. And she will. 2 perfect free throws from Flecker. Dolphins lead is now 16 with 1 minute to go here in the third quarter. And that's too easy if you're the Dolphins defensively, as McGuire finishes inside off the pass. She was wide open underneath. Flecker finds Perrone, who finishes, but a foul was called.
Boy, I'm not sure about that one, Joe. I'm not sure what Rosa did on that play. She caught the ball, put it on the floor, and laid it in, but officiating's been tough for both teams here tonight.
That happened so quickly. Perrone caught the ball and immediately went up, so I would think the foul had to have come before she caught the ball, but there's another foul call inside. If that's on Cray, that is her 4th, and it is on Victoria Cray, so Cray will head to the bench. Dolphins lead is 14, so hopefully they won't need her to complete this stretch run, but they likely won't have her until at least the midway point of the fourth quarter.
And what a huge swing this is in the game, Joe, because that Perone layup could have opened the Dolphin lead up to 18 points. Instead, it's going to be, 16, I should say. Instead, an opportunity for the Lightning to cut the lead down to 12. So a big 4-point swing potentially here in the last minute, including, as you mentioned, Victoria Cray's fourth personal foul.
About a 5-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. So if the Lightning get a stop quickly, they will have a chance to go 2 for 1 here. But they missed the second free throw and come away with the offensive board. So an opportunity to score again right now. The Lightning could pull to within 10 with a 3-pointer. The Dolphins' lead is 13. And Behagen inside, open, and goes up with an unorthodox-looking left-handed floater from point-blank range. She puts it in. Dolphins lead now 11. McEwen finds Perone. Perone going aggressively at the rim and nearly converts yet another one through the contact. But Rosa Perone continues to make an impact at the offensive end and will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, big play that time by Perone to go to the basket, and she'll go to the line now to shoot 2. The Lightning have cut the Dolphin lead all the way down to 11. 2 big free throws coming up here for Perone.
And the first of which is perfect. So Perone now with 7 points, or excuse me, let me get the point total for you here. Yeah, 7 points, I was correct, in 7 minutes. I initially looked at the minutes tally. So Perone now with 8 points and 4 rebounds. Make that 9 points off of the second made free throw. Here comes Linda Field. She's blocked by Perone, and that's how we will end the third quarter. A strong quarter, or finish to the quarter, I should say, for Rosa Perone and the Dolphins. After the Lightning were creeping back into that game a bit, the Dolphins only 1 point off of their halftime lead, now lead by 13 heading into quarter number 4. When we come back, the Dolphins will look to remain perfect in CUNYAC conference play this season and close out the Lightning. The lead is 13. More CUNYAC NCAA Division III women's basketball when we return here on CSI Sportsnet at csidolphins.com.
One-on-One is an independently owned and operated physical therapy center since 1999.
One-on-One has multiple offices located in Staten Island and in Brooklyn.
One-on-One has been getting people back to living pain-free for almost 14 years.
The number one goal of One-on-One is to provide quality health care for our community and continue to strive to be the best in our field.
One-on-One physical therapy gets our clients back to work, back to play, and back to function as soon as possible. We help them reclaim their life.
And we're back here on CSI Sportsnet as we got some public school closure info here. New York City public schools are closed tomorrow for those that it will affect. We're still awaiting word on a CUNY alert, but if we receive one, we will share that with you. Our score entering the fourth quarter, the Dolphins 61 and the Lightning 48.
Yeah, and you mentioned, Joe, as we were closing out the third quarter, just 1 point cut off that Dolphin lead. But, you got to give the Lightning a lot of credit, Joe. They've fallen way behind in this game. They've trailed by as many as, I believe, 17 in this one, and they keep fighting their way back, trailing only by 13. They've given themselves a shot here in the fourth quarter.
So the Dolphins will possess the ball first here in the fourth. And quickly, they will draw a foul. And during that second quarter, it seemed like a never-ending quarter with all of the foul calls that went against both teams and all of the turnovers committed. This foul, of course, won't send the Dolphins to the free throw line as they'll score quickly off of the inbound. So the Dolphins immediately off of the inbounds pass able to find a player inside for the score. I didn't catch who that was through all the traffic.
And we should mention, Joe, Behagen picked up her fourth personal on that play, so a big foul for the Lightning.
And the two teams exchange turnovers there as that's a big swing. Lilybeth Garcia finishes the layup. The Dolphins had forced the turnover, a chance to go up by 17 instead. The lead now back down to 13. 9:13 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and it seems, Joe, every time the Dolphins have an opportunity to really expand the lead and try to close the door on the Lightning do a good job keeping themselves in the game.
Passaturo with it. Finds Flecker back door. She's swarmed by Lightning defenders, and then her pass to Megan McEwen goes awry. I wasn't sure if that was tipped. The whistle came late, but that indeed is an over and back violation against the Dolphins.
Yeah, so the Dolphins with another big turnover, and, you know, we just under 9 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. Lightning with an opportunity to cut the Dolphin lead down to 10.
Really, it's been one miserable quarter that has done Lehman College in this game. A very poor second quarter, of course. We've said it several times already. They did not convert on a field goal attempt in the second, as that's Lisa Fields driving inside and drawing the foul. And we did mention foul trouble plaguing both teams in this game. For the Lightning now, 3 players on the floor with 4 personal fouls. One of those, Linda Fields, will head to the line. The other 2 are Ayanna Behagan and Selena Lopez. And those are precious points at the line for the Lightning. And Fields can't pick up one with that first free throw. And see some mass substitutions. It will be Cray, Price, and Callie entering for the Dolphins, replacing McEwen and Bessie and Perrone.
Yeah, so Perrone checks out of the game with 3 personal fouls. She played very well for the Dolphins here tonight so far.
As Lisa Fields converts the second of 2 free throws. Dolphins facing full court pressure once again. They do a nice job navigating it. Callie now has a good look at the rim. I thought for sure she would go up with that. Instead, looked for Angelique Price on the bounce pass. Price not expecting it, and that ball goes out of bounds. So once again, the Lightning now with a chance to trim the lead to 10. Here comes Lisa Fields. And she pulls it back. Drives inside, and a strong finish by Lisa Fields. We've seen some great finishes from both of these teams in this game, and that's just another one of those right there. And it's Lisa Fields with that one, scoring her 9th and 10th points before Angelique Price comes back the other way quickly for the Dolphins and finishes at the other end.
Big basket by Price.
The lead was momentarily down to 10. It is now back to 10 as these two teams exchanging layups. Dolphins still facing that full court pressure from Lehman College. They move the ball side to side between Passaturo and Cray. As Cray loses the ball, and a timeout was called by both Cray and the Dolphins bench. The timeout is awarded. We'll see if this is going to be a 30-second or a full timeout. Head coach Tim Shanahan doesn't look happy with his team. We haven't seen a signal yet. It will be a 30-second timeout. So we'll stay right here. Mike, the Dolphins allowing the Lightning to slowly creep back into this game. I'm not sure Lehman College can creep back in quickly enough with only 7:44 to go, but the lead is 10 points. And this climb back for Lehman College has really been very slow, as we've said several times, but they've been chipping away since halftime. What have you seen from them that's changed?
Yeah, you know, the difference is, Joe, the Dolphins have had a couple of opportunities to pull this game and open it up, and every time they've had an opportunity, they've either turned the ball over or the Lightning have made a good play out on the floor, and they've gotten themselves right back in the game, Joe. They've cut the lead down to 10. That's as low as it's been since the first half. They've done it on a couple of occasions. The Dolphins now have turned the ball over 20 times compared to 21 for the Lightning. Big 7:44 remaining. Good start for the Dolphins as Flecker will go to the free throw line.
Well, that's one area of stark contrast between these two teams, and it's something small. But when each team has had inbounds plays along the baseline, the Dolphins have shut down those passing lanes and not allowed the Lightning to get the ball inside. And when the Dolphins have been inbounding the ball along the baseline, the Lightning have repeatedly allowed passes to be made right under the rim. And that time it's Samantha Flecker who receives that pass and draws the foul to get to the free throw line. And her first free throw, no good. It's short. But when you have opportunities that easy around the rim, that one not necessarily among those easy opportunities with Flecker drawing the foul. As you see her stat line, a solid stat line for Flecker, 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. The only blemish really is the shooting percentage for Sam in this game, as another foul is called, and I think it was Flecker who got her hands on that ball. Once again, Lehman College allowing the shooter to grab the rebound off a missed free throw.
Yeah, Joe, I think it's going to be a lane violation on the Lightning, so it'll just be one more free throw upcoming here for Flecker, who's missed 2 in a row.
And she will not make it 3 in a row as she converts, so credit Flecker with 1 of 2 from the line. And with the reaction of the crowd behind us, I thought a foul was called off of a rebound, as Lisa Fields drives and finishes strong once again around the rim. Lisa Fields coming alive here early in this fourth quarter, just taking it right into the teeth of the Dolphins defense, and a strong finish inside gives the Lightning an opportunity now to pull within 8.
And that's going to be the 5th personal foul on Victoria Cray, so she's fouled out of the game as that free throw will not count, but the Lightning cutting the Dolphin lead inside of double digits for the first time here tonight. They trail by, it's still 11. Well, the score is wrong, Joe. I think that it's a 9-point game. It is. I thought I was going crazy. It is a 9-point game, Joe, and with an opportunity to cut the lead down to 8 as the Dolphins continue to open the door for the Lightning here in this 4th quarter.
After that second quarter, this comeback seemed improbable. The Dolphins got off to a strong start in the 3rd as well and jumped out to what at the time was their biggest lead of the game, as it looks like the first free throw did count. Fields also misses the second. Battle for the rebound. Dolphins come away with it, so big misses, or big miss, I should say, by Fields at the line. Only 1 free throw taken. My mistake. She converted on the and one, did not convert on the free throw attempt. Passaturo now looking for Price backdoor. That one tipped by Fields. Looked to throw it off Price, but Dorsett steps on the sideline, and the official was right on top of that one, as was I. I took a look there, but the Dolphins nearly commit a costly turnover.
Yeah, Dolphins continue to struggle offensively, and Passatoro looking for her first points here in the 4th quarter, and the Lightning doing a great job knocking the Dolphin lead down to 9. So big possession coming up here for CSI.
The substitution for Victoria Cray, who fouled out, was Diana Todaro, is once again off an inbound, this time from the sideline. The Dolphins able to get the ball inside. And I think the Lightning player stepped on the baseline. So another turnover by Lehman College, and that really stifles this run that they're on right now.
Yeah, and now it's the Lightning turn to kind of open the door back up for the Dolphins. Let's see if CSI can take advantage.
Price has it at the top of the arc, drives to her left, stumbles and lost handle of that ball, but it's Todaro who takes it inside. Her layup no good, and the rebound went to Lehman College before a foul was called against the Dolphins.
Yeah, and that'll be on Todaro, so she's going to have 4 now for the Dolphins. So a lot of plays with 4 personal fouls here, Joe, as we're getting whistles on nearly every possession for both teams.
And Todaro has those 4 fouls in only 7 minutes. Rosa Perrone had 3 fouls in 7 minutes. Angelique Price also has 4 fouls. She's played 20 minutes. The foul is definitely a problem for the Dolphins in this game, as that will be an offensive foul. Looked like the 2 officials needed to confer with one another non-verbally, as that call was a bit delayed.
And I think that foul, Joe, is going to be on Linda Fields, and if it is, that's going to be 5 on Linda, and she will go to the bench. They never did put up that last foul on Todaro, though I'm pretty sure it was her 4th, Joe.
It was.
So now Fields will foul out. That's a big loss for the Lightning. She had 17 points. So she will foul out of the game now for Lehman.
Both teams have lost a key star to the Lightning, their leading scorer in this game, and the Dolphins a key piece to their offense in Victoria Cray, who really never got going because of the foul trouble. The Dolphins' leading scorer in this game and for the season, Christina Passaturo, has the ball now. Defended well by Fields, and I think a carry was the call, so possession to Lehman College. They still trail by 9. 6:24 to go here in this 4th quarter.
Boy, not sure about that call, Joe. Tough call on Passatoro, but the Dolphins turned the ball over once again.
Well, it was clear Tim Shanahan didn't like the call. He was hesitating and giving the ball to the official as he got his money's worth there with his time holding on to that basketball. But the Lightning do inbound and will look to get within 7 at least, maybe 6. It's Garcia over to Dorsett. Dorsett drives on Callie, goes up inside, can't convert. Dorsett takes the rebound away from her own teammate and goes up again and failed to convert on the second attempt. Now Angelique Price goes up inside. She fails to convert. Passaturo inside to Todaro, and that's a great pass from Christina Passaturo, who had a wide open 3-point attempt and then was able to get the ball inside as we have an injury at the other end of the floor. The Dolphins were 5 on 4 in that possession, which is why there was such a big gaping hole in the paint for Lehman College defensively.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to see which Lightning player went down, and she went down hard, Joe, and it looks like she has a leg injury, so we're going to have a little bit of a break in the action here while she's attended to.
I think that was Selena Lopez. So as she is attended to, we will indeed step aside and take a break for just a few moments as Lopez is helped off the court. So if there is no official timeout here, we will stay with you as Lopez able to walk off on her own power. That's always a good sign, and that will necessitate a substitution as we'll have another look here at the recent Dolphins possession where Passatoro had the wide open three but found Todaro inside for a short 2 points. That extended the Dolphins' lead to 11. Lehman College to inbound with 5:49 to go here in the fourth quarter. The Lightning running out of time.
Yeah, big second chance points for the Dolphins on that last possession.
Garcia over to Fields. Dorsett drives right baseline and finishes at the rim inside through the contact. And if that foul is on Diana Todaro, that would be 5. And it is indeed on Diana Todaro. She can't believe it, but a second Dolphins player has fouled out. Todaro will join Victoria Cray as the two Dolphins who have fouled out of this game. And now Rosa Perron will play some even bigger minutes. As I mentioned before, she has 3 fouls of her own in 7 minutes, but Perron has given the Dolphins some solid time on the court in this game.
Yeah, that time Callie went for the steal, came up short. Dorsett able to drive the ball to the basket and lay it up and in, and an opportunity for a three-point play.
Dorsett can't convert at the line, but then Perron turns it over on the bounce pass and commits the foul against Behagen, who finishes inside. What a swing there. The free throw was missed. The Lightning able to force the turnover off the reckless pass by Perron. She gave it right to them, and then Behagen takes it right to the basket and converts through the contact and one. Behagen now to the line for a free throw with a chance to cut the Dolphins' lead to 6, and Behagen will indeed convert from the line. Dolphins lead now 68-62, just under 5.5 minutes to go here in the fourth. As Passatoro turns it over, here comes Garcia. Her layup attempt no good, but following that shot was Dorsett, and Aaliyah Dorsett cuts the Dolphins' lead to 4. Price drives, and she is fouled by Dorsett. So the Dolphins with a much-needed reprieve from the action there as things were falling apart, and Tim Shanahan mentioned at the half, composure. The Dolphins came out strong in quarter number 3, but seem a bit out of control here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, Dolphins very fortunate as Dorsett is going to pick up her fifth personal, so she'll foul out of the game as well. But, you know, the Dolphins all game long left the door open, and now find themselves in a dogfight here with 5:09 remaining and their lead down to 4. Big free throw coming up here for Angelique Price as she hits the first.
Dorsett had been playing very well for Lehman College. As you get a look at the numbers for Angelique Price, the Dolphins free throw shooter right now. But going back to the final stat line for Dorsett, really came alive in this fourth quarter. Only finished with 5 points, did grab 5 rebounds as well as Price goes 2 of 2 from the line. Really, you can say that about this Lightning team. They have come alive here in this fourth quarter. It wasn't just Dorsett who provided that big and one for Lehman College here in the fourth, as that baseline leaning jump shot no good, and Callie charges in and strips the ball away from Lopez, who returns after going down with an injury, and then it's turned over yet again. So the Dolphins able to come away with the ball, much like the rebound off of that missed free throw, but as was the case on that play, they promptly turn it over and give the Lightning another chance to pull within 4. Behagen fires the mid-range jump shot just beyond the free throw line. That's not even close. And a timeout is called by Lehman College. It is a full timeout, so we'll step aside for just about a minute or two, and when we come back, it is a 6-point game. The Dolphins' lead is 70-64 over the Lightning in this CUNYAC NCAA Division III women's basketball matchup. More when we return here on CSI Sportsnet at csidolphins.com.
Own the morning with Tim Hortons. Get a sausage and cheese English muffin made to order for only $1. Made with savory sausage and American cheese on a toasted English muffin. Prepared for you for only $1. Great quality at a great value. It's all good at Tim Hortons. There's something delicious happening this season at Tim Hortons, and it's only 99 cents. Get a rich, decadent hot chocolate or creamy French vanilla for the sweet price of 99 cents. Great quality at a great value. It's all good at Tim Hortons.
And we're back here in the fourth quarter. Regardless of what your scoreboard says, the score is the Dolphins 70 and the Lightning 64. As you see, the bottom ticker has the correct score. It's Kelly with the ball for the Dolphins, swings it over to Price. Price guarded by McGuire. She drives inside, and a strong finish inside by Angelique Price. That is a much-needed basket for the Dolphins.
Big aggressive basket by Angelique. She now has 9 points for the Dolphins. They open the lead back to 8.
The Dolphins really haven't been efficient from the field in this game, with the exception of Christina Passaturo. And there it is Lisa Fields once again drawing a foul, and more importantly, stopping the clock. If you're the Lightning, though, you need to convert on these free throw attempts.
Yeah, and that's going to be a foul on Angelique Price. She's going to have 5 now, so she'll foul out of the game. As a lot of whistles being called. I thought Fields might have taken that extra step, Joe, before the foul was called, but the officials call it on Price. She picks up 5, and now Nicole and Bessie will check into the game for the Dolphins.
And Price is the 5th player to foul out of this game, the 3rd Dolphin, joining Victoria Cray and Diana Todaro. And Lisa Fields will convert the first of her 2 free throw attempts. Nicole and Bessie replaces Angelique Price, who just fouled out, as Fields goes 2 of 2 from the line, so 2 big free throws from Lisa Fields. The 5 for the Dolphins now: Callie, Flecker, Passaturo, and Bessie, and Perrone. It's Callie. That's a 2-pointer from the left corner. She had a toe on the line, but a big shot nonetheless for the Dolphins. As the Lightning nearly turn it over, they do. Fields to the floor. Dolphins come away with it.
With an 8-point lead, no reason to hurry. 20 seconds on the shot clock.
That's exactly what Tim Shanahan is telling his team from the bench. Here comes Passaturo on the drive. Finds Flecker in the left corner, and she is called for traveling. So the Dolphins with numerous chances to close the door on Lehman College in this game, really, and especially here in this fourth quarter with just one more big basket. They can't do it right there. Huge possession upcoming here for Lehman College. It's Behagan calling for a screen, it looks like. No, she's calling for Lopez to post up Perrone. Lopez working against Perrone. They can't feed the ball inside to her. It winds up back with Behagan. Now Fields. And Bessie defending. Fields, pull-up jump shot, no good. Rebounded by Callie. Gives it up to Passaturo, up to Mbessi, and now Perrone. And Perrone will wisely reset. As you said it before, Mike, no reason to rush things. And instead, Flecker will put up a 3, grabs her own rebound yet again. No foul call. That one out of bounds over the baseline, but credit Samantha Flecker with yet another offensive rebound in this game. I think that's number 7 for Flecker, assuming the live stats haven't yet updated to reflect that rebound. But if that is a rebound, credit it to Flecker. That is 7 offensive boards. And quickly, Lily Beth Garcia comes back the other way and knocks down a mid-range jump shot. Our score 74-68. Passaturo taking her time here. 2.5 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. 15 on the shot clock. Passaturo drives to her left, gets inside, rebounded by Flecker. She goes straight up with it, and then Perrone is fouled after she grabbed the rebound from the Flecker miss.
Yeah, so Passatoro can't pick up her first points of the fourth quarter as she couldn't convert the shot, but Dolphins continue to crash the boards, and Rosa Perrone, who's probably had her best game of this 2017-18 season, will go back to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Big free throws here for Perrone. The difference between an 8-point lead and a 6-point lead is not only a 2-possession game here with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go, but a much larger hill to climb if you're the Lightning, who are simply running out of time despite playing a strong second half. Perrone with a strong game for the Dolphins off of the bench. 9 points and 6 rebounds before that first free throw attempt. She now has 10. Looking to make it 11 here from the line. The free throw no good. Rebounded by Behagan. The Lightning moving up the floor quickly. It's 2-on-2. Fields pulls up. No good. Rebounded by McGuire. And she puts it up and in. I think a foul was called, and it may have gone against the Lightning. We'll see. I'm not sure what the call was. It is a Dolphins foul, so I was initially right. Foul called against the Dolphins. That will send McGuire to the line. The foul was called against Flecker. That's only her first. Both Flecker and Passaturo with only a single foul. But the free throw from McGuire is no good. Rebounded by Fields, and she's called for traveling as she stumbles down to the floor. That's a tough call.
And what a break for the Dolphins there, Joe, as the lead had been cut down to 5. They've cut it down to as low as 4, and she just falls backwards and turns the ball over. Big break for the Dolphins.
Perrone drives left baseline and is able to draw the foul. So Rosa Perrone once again will head to the line, and she's frequented the free throw line in this game so far. Is 4 of 7 from the charity stripe. Looking for points 11 and 12. At the very least, the Dolphins would love to see her extend this to a 6-point game to force Lehman College perhaps to start thinking about some three-pointers. But if you can knock down both of these free throws, it becomes a 3-possession game, and Perrone won't be able to accomplish that as she misses the first.
Yeah, the Dolphins keeping the Lightning in the game. They only lead by 5, still 2 minutes remaining.
And Perrone's second free throw is also good. Lisa Fields has it. Denisa Lamenka recently checked in for the Lightning as well, is on the floor wearing number 10. Is that wild shot by Fields no good, rebounded by the Dolphins. Passaturo being harassed by Lisa Fields now gets away. Dolphins don't need to put up a shot quickly, but Callie will attempt the three-pointer. No good, rebounded by Fields. Navigates her way through traffic, comes out of the pile.
Not a good shot that time by the Dolphins.
And Passaturo's called for the block. It looked like the ball was dribbled off Passaturo's foot.
Boy, oh boy, Joe, some of these calls have been absolutely terrible, and these officials here in the second half have been calling fouls on practically every possession. That was just an absolute terrible call by the officials. You have to wonder what they've been watching here in the fourth quarter.
Look at the free throw shooting for these two teams. They combined 60 free throws in this game. And, Mike, that hasn't started in the fourth. Late in the second quarter, there were numerous foul calls. Within the last 4 minutes alone, that quarter was seemingly unending. But here, Behagen can't convert from the line, and the Lightning are about past that time where they can afford to leave points off the board from the charity stripe. As I think we will have a timeout after this free throw. I'm fairly certain Eric Harris just went to the official to call for time. He did. Well, the point there was just given to the Dolphins on the score, but that has to be changed. It will. So our score, 76-71. This is a 30-second timeout. We'll stay right here. So only 1 minute and 28 seconds for the Dolphins to hold on to this lead. The Lightning have been knocking on the door the entire fourth quarter. What can they do to finally break through? Anything.
Well, you know, Joe, you keep a team around long enough, it could sometimes come back to bite you. And, you know, on that last possession, the Dolphins with possession of the basketball, for some reason they put up a three-point shot very early in the 30-second shot clock, and the Lightning able to take advantage of it. Fortunately for the Dolphins, they only convert 1 of 2 free throws, so the Dolphins still in good shape. They lead by 2 possessions with 1 minute 28 remaining, but they need to get some good offensive sets run, try to get the ball into Christina Passaturo's hands. Christina has struggled in the fourth quarter. She's yet to score here in the fourth, but she's their leading scorer, and the Dolphins need points.
Well, it will be Dolphins ball when we resume the action here. As once again, we'll have a conference over at the scorer's table. Seems to be something on the court as well. There have been several conversations going on over there at the scorer's table in this game. An animated one took place at halftime. You may have seen it on our camera from up top. And here come the Dolphins. 1:27 to go here in this fourth quarter. Passaturo wisely dribbling some time off the clock. Now 15 seconds on the shot clock. Shot clock down to 10. Passaturo still far away from the rim. Finds her way inside, gives it up to Perrone. And Perrone's shot rims out, but it's rebounded once again by Samantha Flecker. And how big have her offensive rebounds been, Mike?
Yeah, she struggled to shoot here, especially in the second half, but she's done a great job on the glass. Big offensive rebound there, gives the Dolphins a fresh 30-second shot clock, forces Lehman to foul, and could be the play that pushes the Dolphins to 4-0 in the conference here this year.
So Samantha Flecker with a chance to really ice this game. If she knocks down both of these free throws, it's going to be incredibly difficult for the Lightning to come back and at least force overtime, as Flecker does indeed knock down the first free throw. Dolphins lead now 6. This next one could make it a 3-possession game. And the second free throw is no good. And it looks like another lane violation is called. So Flecker, for the second time in this game, will have a second opportunity on the back end of a pair of free throws.
And that's a big violation, Joe, because that could make it a 3-possession game with just 46.9 seconds remaining.
That's something you simply can't afford, and that does indeed make it a 3-possession game. So a huge violation there against the Lightning, who look to be out of time in this one despite a strong second-half effort. Behagen drives, can't convert with the left hand, and the Dolphins can dribble out all but about 7 or 8 seconds, so the Lightning will need to foul if they want to prolong this game. Passaturo gets knocked down and is then called for the offensive foul. She didn't like the call, and the Dolphins bench and players have both been very unhappy in this game. Really, both teams at different points have been unhappy, whether it be with scorekeeping or officiating. The Lightning low on time. We're inside 20 seconds. They need 3 baskets at least. As Behagen drives inside, the Dolphins wisely do not foul and allow her to convert. The Lightning need to foul, and they do so aggressively there, as that looked like more of a body check than an intentional foul.
Yeah, and with 8 seconds left, Joe, that's just not enough time for the Lightning to be able to get a couple of baskets. So barring some kind of miracle comeback here, the Dolphins are going to hold on in a game that they appear to dominate, but have to go down to the wire before finally putting away a very pesky Lehman College team.
Well, miracles may sometimes happen, but comebacks without any timeouts, down 6 or more points, and with 8 seconds left in the game, typically don't, and make that 7 points. Excuse me, the lead was 6. As Behagen puts up a 3, can't knock it down. Rebound to the Dolphins, and that will do it. As CSI able to close this one out despite a late surge from Lehman College, they come away with an 80-73 victory.
Yeah, and it wasn't pretty, Joe, especially in the second half, but the Dolphins did what they needed to do. They remained undefeated in conference play, upping their record to 4-0. They get back on track after having their 8-game winning streak ended against MIT over the New Year's vacation.
And this is a big win for the Dolphins in a game where they were really tested, much more so than a lot of people thought they would be. A lot of people came into this game that I spoke to calling the Dolphins heavy favorites in this game, and they came out and were really tested and came away with a 7-point victory. But in that fourth quarter, the Dolphins faced a late surge from Lehman College, but they were able to hold on and come away with the 7-point victory, as we are joined by Christina Passaturo. So, Chrissy, in that game, you guys didn't shoot very well from the field, but you did, and you've managed to shoot efficiently all season long, and then again here in this game. What's the key to your shooting from the field?
A lot of times you just... Sorry. Some days are just better than others, honestly. I do the same routine before every game, every practice, so... Some days it really is, the ball goes in the basket, and sometimes it just really doesn't, so I've been pretty lucky lately.
I think you've been more than lucky through 4 years. You've done very well throughout your entire Dolphins career shooting the basketball. But at halftime, we spoke to your head coach, Tim Shanahan. He talked about the team's composure in that first half, an issue that he had, and with that smile, I'm sure he gave you some words about it during the halftime speech that I'm sure he gave the team. Maybe not so much of a speech, more of a tongue lashing. But in that fourth quarter, you guys were able to remain composed and hold on. What was the key to staving off that late surge?
I mean, some games are definitely harder than others, and I think for the most part we do a pretty good job keeping our composure. But, these CUNYAC games against tough teams, sometimes things get a little out of hand, but we learned our lesson in the first half. Coach made it abundantly clear, and he's 100% right. You know, you can't feed into any of the garbage, and you got to just stay calm, play your game, don't let anybody else affect you.
Well, you guys still undefeated in the CUNYAC Conference. Congratulations on the victory, and thanks for joining us, Chrissy.
Thank you.
That's Christina Passatoro, the Dolphins' leading scorer in this game, continues to lead this Dolphins team through this season. The Dolphins come away with the 7-point victory here in this game. Mike, what are your final thoughts?
Well, you know, it was a game that the Dolphins came out. They blew it open in the second quarter. They didn't allow the Lightning to score a basket in that second quarter. But every time they had an opportunity to put the Lightning away, the Lightning would come back and make a good play to keep themselves in the game. But the bottom line is the Dolphins were able to come away with the victory, open their record up to 4-0, and get themselves ready. Their next game will be a non-conference game this Sunday before 3 consecutive CUNYAC games.
Just some standouts on the stat line quickly as we wrap up. This is our first broadcast of the night. Be sure to stay with us for the men's game, which is coming up in approximately 25 minutes. Mike, you'll be joined by Frank Schettino for the call on that game. Of course, you'll have the play-by-play, but Frank will be joining you on color commentary as I move over to keep stats for game number 2. Just some standouts from the final stat line in this game for the Dolphins. Once again, Christina Passatoro, a huge game, scores 22 points, also grabbed 9 rebounds and dished out 5 assists. A very well-balanced game for Christina Passatoro. Samantha Flecker had a double-double of her own to go with 5 assists, 16 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. So Samantha Flecker and Christina Passatoro both filling up the stat sheet in what was a very hard-fought Dolphins victory in the first half of tonight's doubleheader. The women defeat Lehman College by a score of 80-73 in about 25 minutes. We will have the men's game. So for myself, Mike Babuski, and Arthur Kapetanakis, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We will rejoin you here on CSI Sportsnet in approximately 15 or 20 minutes to bring you men's basketball coverage. Frank Schettino and Mike Babuski with the call of the men taking on the Lightning of Lehman College. This has been NCAA Division III CUNYAC women's basketball here on CSI Sportsnet at csidolphins.com.